Good morning students. This is 10th standard biology video class, video 3. In this video, we are going to continue the lesson nervous system. Dear students, in the previous video class, we have seen types of neuron, that is based on the structure. It is divided into unipolar neuron, bipolar neuron and multipolar neuron. Unipolar, they are having only one nerve fiber which act as both axon and cyton. Example, early embryos but not in the adult one. Next, bipolar neuron. A cyton gives rise to two nerve fiber in opposite direction. One act as a axon, another one act as a dendron. Example, retina of eye and olfactory epithelium of nasal chambers. Next one, multipolar neuron. The cyton gives rise to many dendron and an axon. Example, cerebral cortex of a brain. Then based on the function, it is divided into sensory or afferent neuron, a neuron which carry impulse from sense organ to the central nervous system. Another one, motor or efferent neuron, which carry impulse from central nervous system to the effector organ, that is muscle fiber or gland. The next one, association neuron, which conducts impulse between sensory neuron and motor neuron. This is the another type based on the function. Then types of nerve fiber, that is based on the presence or absence of myelin sheath, divided into myelinated nerve fiber, that is myelin sheath is present. Non-myelinated nerve fiber, myelin sheath is absent. Myelinated nerve fiber which forms white matter of the brain. Non-myelinated nerve fiber which forms grey matter of the brain. The next we have seen transmission of nerve impulse. The external environmental impulses are received by the receptors, that is sense organs, which carry impulse from external environment through dendrites of the neuron. These dendrites transmit the impulse to the cyton or cell body. The cell body which transmit the impulse to the unbranched axon. At the tip of the axon they are having terminal synaptic knob, creates a chemical substance called neurotransmitter, which transmit the impulse into electrical impulse to the dendron of another neuron. That is said to be transmission of nerve impulse. Then synaptic transmission, that means the flow of nerve impulse from the axonal end of one neuron to the dendron of another neuron through synapse or synaptic knob is known as synaptic transmission. The synaptic transmission which create the chemical substance known as neurotransmitter, which transmit the impulse in the form of electrical current from axonal end of one neuron to the dendrites of another neuron. That is known as neurotransmitter. It's a chemical substance. In the neuron, the acetylcholine is act as a neurotransmitter. Up to this only we have seen in the previous video class. Now, in this video, we are going to see the human nervous system, central nervous system, that is brain and spinal cord. Dear students, these are all the three types of neuron based on the structure: unipolar, bipolar, and last one is the multipolar. Dear students, these are the two types of nerve fiber. Neuron with a, that is axon with a myelin sheath is known as myelinated nerve fiber. Axon without myelin sheath is known as non-myelinated nerve fiber. First one which forms the white matter of the brain. The second diagram which forms the grey matter of the brain. Dear students, this is the diagram which are showing the transmission of nerve impulse. First one, that is the axon region. At the terminal end of the axon region, they are having the synaptic knobs which create the transmitter. The transmitter, that is neurotransmitter, transmit the impulse in the form of electrical impulse from the axon terminal end of one neuron to the dendron of another neuron through a synapse. That means a synaptic knob is known as synaptic transmission. Dear students, now we are going to see the human nervous system. The human nervous system, which are showing complex structure, can be observed during the course of evolutionary sequence. The human beings differ from other animals in our ability to think and take actions. So this thinking ability and immediate action is taken place with the help of well-developed nervous system. Human nervous system is divided into three. In the beginning class itself, I told you, central nervous system constitute brain and spinal cord, peripheral nervous system, that is PNS, and autonomic nervous system, that is ANS. So these three are the different types of nervous system which is seen in our body: central, peripheral, and autonomic nervous system. Dear students, each and every nervous system which constitute certain organ, those organs are which are doing the different important functions. First one, CNS. The central nervous system is act as a center for information processing and controlling. Information processing and controlling center. It consists of what I told you, brain and spinal cord. Then peripheral nervous system is made up of several nerves which connects the brain and spinal cord to all parts of the body. So peripheral nervous system contains several nerves which connects the central nervous system. What is that one? Brain and spinal cord to all parts of the body. Next one, autonomous nervous system is consists of two type of nerves. One is said to be sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. So these are all the three types of nervous system and their organs. First, we are going to see the central nervous system. The brain and the spinal cord are the important structures, are well protected by a body cavities of the skull and the vertebral column. So brain is protected by a bony cavity is known as skull. Likewise, the spinal cord is protected by a vertebral column. So what is the skull? மண்டை ஓடு அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா? So the brain which is located in the skull region, the skull which are giving protection to the brain. Likewise, the spinal cord which is located in the body cavity of vertebral column. What is the vertebral column? Backbone. This vertebral column gives protection to the spinal cord. The central nervous system is formed of two types of matter. One is the white matter or grey matter. Due to the presence or absence of the myelin sheath. So central nervous system which forms two types of matter. White matter, that means the axon which is covered by myelin sheath means it forms the white matter of central nervous system. The axon which is not covered by myelin sheath means it forms the grey matter of the CNS. So that is said to be the general introduction of central nervous system, that is brain and the spinal cord. Brain is located in the skull region, spinal cord which is located in the vertebral column. Both the CNS system which forms white matter or grey matter of the body due to the presence or absence of myelin sheath. Dear students, see the diagram. It is a brain located in the bony cavity of the skull. The brain which are surrounded by a or protected by a 3-layer is known as meninges. What is that one? The brain which are covered by a 3-membrane or protective layer is known as meninges. The outer region which is known as dura mater, which is red in color. Then middle membrane is known as arachnoid matter, which is pink in color, and the inner membrane which is light blue known as pia mater. These are all the 3 membranes which covered by the brain, and they are giving protection to the brain to prevent the brain from the mechanical injury. Dear students, brain is the controlling center of all the body activities. In our body, we are having different types of metabolic activities. So these activities are controlled by a CNS organ is known as brain. This brain, which is covered by 3 connective tissue membrane, is known as meninges. 2 mark question. What is meninges? Brain is a controlling center of the body activities. It is covered by a 3 connective tissue membrane is known as meninges. First one, dura mater. Dura, which means tough. Matter means membrane. So the outermost membrane is very tough and also thick fibrous membrane. Next one, arachnoid membrane. Arachnoid, which means spider. That means the middle membrane, which is very thin, which contains the blood circulation, that is vascular membrane, providing a web-like cushion, look like a spider web, Salandi Valamari. It look like in the form of spider web, and it forms a cushion, soft layer of the brain, because it is located in the middle and also thin, contains vascular membrane, providing web-like cushion. Next one, pia mater. Pia, which means soft or tender. It is the innermost layer of the brain, thin, delicate membrane, ரொம்ப soft இருக்கும், delicate membrane, richly supplied with blood circulation. So in this third region, third membrane only, a large amount of blood circulation is taken place. So it is very soft or tender, innermost layer, made up of thin, delicate membrane. So these three meningeal membranes protect the brain from the mechanical injury. 2 mark question. What is meninges? Write its function. Brain is covered by a 3 connective tissue membrane known as meninges, outer matter, middle arachnoid membrane, inner pia mater. All these 3 meninges are protect the brain from mechanical injury. That is the question with the answer. Dear students, the information is given here. Meninges means the 3 layer of connective tissue membrane surrounded by a brain is known as meninges. Meningitis means it is a disorder, that is, it is an inflammation of the meninges. That means it can occur when the fluid surrounding the 3 layers, that is meninges, become infected. So this 3 layer of the brain is infected by certain kind of microorganism. That inflammation is known as meningitis. The most common causes of meningitis are viral and bacterial infection. So these 3 layer or meninges are affected by viral or bacterial infection, means that inflammation is known as meningitis. It is important. 1 mark and 2 mark question. Dear students, see the anatomy of the brain, that is structure of a brain. The brain which consists of 4 lobes. What is that one? 4 lobes. The orange color one is said to be the frontal lobe. Then the light green is said to be the parietal lobe. Then the dark green is said to be temporal lobe. And the yellow color one is said to be the occipital lobe. So these are all the 3 lobes are totally known as cerebral lobes and are doing the specific function. If any damage in specific lobe in turn affects its function. So these are all the 3 lobes which is present, 4 lobes which is present in the cerebrum region of your brain. Then another region, it's said to be cerebellum. Then the spinal cord. So that and all we will see in the next page. Just read the diagram of the brain. The brain which are protected by 3 layers. The 3 layers are dura mater, arachnoid membrane, pia mater. Then the brain which is divided into 3 main parts, forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain, which is otherwise known as cerebrum, and that means it consists of cerebrum and diencephalon. Then midbrain, which consists of corpora quadrigemina. Hindbrain, formed of 3 parts, cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. And last one is the spinal cord. Dear students, human brain is formed of 3 main parts, forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain is formed of 2 parts, cerebrum and diencephalon. The cerebrum consists of dorsal thalamus and ventral hypothalamus. Dorsal means upper surface of the cerebrum having the thalamus, and the lower surface of the cerebrum having the ventral region, that is hypothalamus. Dear students, for brain consists of what is that one? See the cerebrum and diencephalon. It's not given in your diagram. Are the two parts formed in the forebrain region. A cerebrum which consists of thalamus and hypothalamus. Dorsal side, they are having a thalamus. This is the LS of human brain, which are showing hypothalamus only. At the dorsal side, they are having the thalamus region. Then, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, midbrain, pons, pituitary gland is one of the endocrine gland which is present in the brain. Stem of the brain afterwards modified into spinal cord. Then corpus callosum. So corpus callosum is a tissue or a nerve fiber which connects the two cerebral hemisphere. That is known as corpus callosum. That one we'll see in the paragraph. So first, forebrain which consists of two parts, cerebrum and diencephalon. The latter consists of dorsal thalamus and ventral hypothalamus. Dear students, each cerebral hemisphere divided into different lobes, frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe and occipital lobe. These lobes are also known as cerebral lobes. Each and every one associated with specific function. Any damage in these lobes affects its function. The cerebrum, which is responsible for the function of thinking, intelligence, consciousness, memory, imagination, reasoning and willpower. So these are all the different activities taken place are responsible by the brain parts known as cerebrum. Next one, thalamus. The thalamus which is present in the medulla region of cerebrum, which act as a center for sensory and motor signaling. What is that one? Sensory and motor signaling. That means afferent and efferent neurons, which is present in the thalamus. So the thalamus which is responsible for the major conducting center of sensory and motor signaling, so that it acts as a relay center. Dear students, I showed in the diagram three types of neuron: sensory neuron, motor neuron and relay neuron. I told you, isn't it? So it acts as a relay center. Thalamus is act as a relay center. One book back question: which one is act as a relay center? Give reason. Thalamus is act as a relay center because it is present in the medulla region of the cerebrum, conducting center for sensory and motor signaling. Next one, hypothalamus. Hypo, that means below the thalamus region, is known as hypothalamus. This region which controls the involuntary functions such as hunger, thirst, sleep, sweating, sexual desire, anger, fear, water balance and blood pressure. So these are all the functions without our control. It is taken place in our body. So they are known as involuntary functions without our control. And also this hypothalamus acts as a thermoregulatory center of the body. That means it maintains the body temperature. Then it controls the secretion of hormones from anterior pituitary gland. And it is an important link between nervous system and endocrine system. So hypothalamus, which is present below the thalamus region, it controls the involuntary functions, hunger, thirst, sleep, sweating, sexual desire, water balance, fear and blood pressure. It controls the temperature, so known as thermoregulatory center of the body. It controls the secretion of hormones from anterior pituitary gland, and it acts as a link between nervous system and endocrine system. So hypothalamus is known as thermoregulatory center. Then thalamus is known as the relay center because it acts as a conducting center for sensory and motor signaling. Next one, midbrain. So previous paragraph we have seen forebrain consists of cerebrum and diencephalon. So cerebrum again consists of two important parts, thalamus and hypothalamus region. Okay. Next one is the midbrain. It is located between thalamus and hindbrain. The dorsal portion of the midbrain consists of four rounded bodies called corpora quadrigemina that controls the visual activity of our eye and auditory reflexes, that means hearing reflexes. So it controls eye and ear reflexes. That is known as midbrain. It is located between thalamus and hindbrain. The dorsal portion of the midbrain contains four rounded bodies known as corpora quadrigemina, control visual and auditory reflexes. Next one, hindbrain. It formed by three parts, cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. So do you know points also given here? The human brain, which constitutes nearly 60% of fat, so the most crucial molecules that determine our brain's integrity and the ability are essential fatty acid. Essential fatty acids are not synthesized but be obtained from the food material. For example, fish, green leafy vegetables, almond, walnut are rich sources of essential fatty acid. So 60% of fatty molecules present in the brain, which is made up of effective fatty acid. It is not produced by our body. It is obtained from the food material such as fish, green leafy vegetables, almond, walnut are rich sources of FA. Now we are going to see the three parts of hindbrain: cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. First one, cerebellum. It is the second largest portion of the brain. This is also made up of two large sized hemisphere and a middle partition known as vermis. It coordinates, that means connects the voluntary movements and also maintains the body balance. Voluntary movements means, what is that one? If you want to walk or sit like that movements are known as voluntary movements. And also it maintains the body balance. Next one, pons. It is a Latin word meaning bridge. A pons is a bridge of a nerve that connects the lobes of cerebellum. So cerebellum, which are having two lobes separated by a median vermis. So these two cerebellum hemisphere are connected by a bridge of nerve fiber is known as pons. Its function is, it relays signals between cerebellum, spinal cord, midbrain and cerebrum. It acts as a relay signal center for, what is that one? Cerebellum, the next is spinal cord, midbrain and cerebrum. It controls the respiration and sleep cycle. It means sleep and respiration is controlled by pons, which means bridge. It connects the two cerebellum hemisphere. It signals between cerebellum, spinal cord, midbrain and cerebrum. The last part of the hindbrain is medulla oblongata. It is the posterior most, that means bottom, posterior most of the part of the brain that connects spinal cord and various parts of the brain. It has different function. Cardiac center, that is respiratory center, vasomotor center to control heartbeat. So cardiac center means it controls the heartbeat. Respiratory center means respiratory process. And vasomotor center means contraction of blood vessels respectively. Then it also regulates the vomiting and salivation. That means saliva which is secreted in our mouth region, and vomiting is regulated by the region is called medulla oblongata. So these three are the three important parts of hindbrain. Dear students, see the diagram. So the brain, which consists of three important parts. The largest part of the brain is said to be forebrain, which consists of cerebrum and diencephalon. Cerebrum, which occupies the 2/3 of the brain, which are having two hemisphere lobe connected by a thick band of nerve fiber, is called corpus callosum. See that C-shaped structure which is light brown in color, that is known as corpus callosum, which connects the two cerebral hemisphere, left side and right side. Okay. Then outermost layer of the cerebrum is known as cortex. Innermost part of the cerebrum is known as medulla. The outermost cortex region, which forms the grey matter. The inner medulla, which forms the white matter. The cortex, which are having, see the foldings, that is elevations and depressions, which are known as gyri and sulci. There are four lobes which is present in the cerebrum: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe and limbic lobe. They are given the four lobes here: frontal, limbic, parietal and occipital. Temporal lobe only, otherwise known as limbic lobe. All together known as cerebral lobes. Then thalamus, present medulla region of the cerebrum, which act as a relay center. Then below the thalamus, that region known as hypothalamus, act as a thermoregulatory center, which are connecting the pituitary gland, controls the secretion of hormone, which is known as anterior pituitary gland. See the gland with an oval shaped structure, which is dark brown in color. Then midbrain, which is located between thalamus and hindbrain. It contains rounded bodies known as corpora quadrigemina. The next one is the hindbrain, consists of cerebellum. It is another biggest part of your brain, which are two lobes connected by a middle vermis. Then these two lobes are connected by a bridge of nerve fiber is known as pons. Then the posterior most region of the brain is known as medulla oblongata. This medulla oblongata, which connects the spinal cord and the brain to all parts of the body. So this is said to be the three parts of a human brain and the structure and the function. Dear students, this is the table column showing the different functions of brain and their organs. Cerebral cortex, sensory perception, control of voluntary function, language, thinking, memory, decision making and creativity. So sensory, organs activities, voluntary function, language, thinking, memory, decision making and creativity are controlled by cerebral cortex. Thalamus act as a relay center or station. Hypothalamus control body temperature, that is thermoregulator, thirst, hunger, urination, and also it acts as a link between nervous system and endocrine glands or endocrine system. Cerebellum maintains the posture of balance, that is body balance, coordinate voluntary muscle activities. Pons and medulla. Pons is responsible for respiration and sleep cycle. Medulla oblongata responsible for control of heartbeat, that is cardiovascular, respiratory center, that means respiratory, and digestive control center. So these are all the different important parts of your brain and their function. It's a very important 2 mark and 4 mark question. Dear students, I hope you have all understood structure and function of your brain. Remaining, we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best, children.